Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Julie Chrisley reacts to new prison sentence. TV personality Julie Chrisley, best known for Chrisley Knows Best, has reacted to her recent resentencing in her fraud case. The case had previously been sent to a lower court, giving Chrisley a chance at a new sentence. Julie and her husband Todd have been the subject of fraud and tax evasion charges since 2019. The case was previously sent to a lower court. Chrisley was resentenced with the judge determining that her 84-month sentence was sufficient. She was shown to be in tears in response to the verdict, apologizing both for what she had done and to her children. Two of Chrisley's children, Savannah and Chase, were at the courtroom during the resentencing. Both Julie and her real estate tycoon husband Todd became known through the reality series Chrisley Knows Best. Airing from 2014 to 2023, the series revolved around their family in Atlanta before moving to Nashville. Back in June, judges of the 11th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals agreed there was a lack of evidence in the case. According to Us Weekly, court documents claimed that, after careful consideration, and with the benefit of oral argument, we affirm the district court on all issues, except for the loss amount attributed to Julie. As it continued, the district court did not identify the evidence it relied on to hold Julie accountable for losses incurred before 2007, and we cannot independently find it in the record. Julie and Todd Chrisley were indicted back in 2019. Thanks to the ruling, the case was sent to a lower court. As the documents continued, so we vacate Julie's sentence and remand solely for the district court to make the factual findings and calculations necessary to determine loss, restitution and forfeiture as to Julie, and to resentence her accordingly. According to Us Weekly, Chrisley's legal team claimed that the 11th Circuit Court of Appeals reversed Ms. Chrisley's sentencing and remanded the case for her to be resentenced. Noting it was not a dismissal of the case, it was hoped the decision will result in a new sentence conforming with the appeals court's instructions. Back in 2019, Julie and Todd Chrisley had been indicted on charges including tax evasion and fraud. After being found guilty in 2022, Julie was initially sentenced to 7 years in prison, which was later reduced by 14 months. Todd received a sentence of 12 years, which was later reduced to 10. Since 2023, Julie has served her time at Federal Medical Center in Kentucky. Todd, meanwhile, has served his time at Federal Prison Camp Pensacola in Florida. The cold cinder block walls of Federal Medical Center Lexington felt more suffocating than usual. The air was thick, not with heat, but with anticipation. Julie Chrisley had spent months waiting, praying, and preparing for the day a judge would decide her resentencing fate. The motion had been denied just days earlier, and now the gavel had officially dropped. Her original sentence would stand. 9 more years. She stared out the narrow window of the visitation room, arms crossed over the pale khaki uniform. She never imagined she'd wear this long. Her blonde hair was pulled into a simple ponytail, grayer at the roots now, but her eyes, they held a new fire. When asked how she felt, Julie didn't blink. Disappointed? Yes, but broken? No. That ship has sailed. I've already walked through the fire. What more can they burn away? The judge's decision had sent a ripple through the prison halls. Inmates murmured. Guards avoided eye contact. Even fellow inmates who once whispered about the reality star lady now offered quiet nods of respect. Julie hadn't spent her time hiding from reality. She had leaned into it. While her husband Todd was adjusting to a different facility down south, Julie had built a different kind of empire inside. But that didn't mean it didn't hurt. I miss my family, she confessed softly, voice catching only slightly. I miss baking banana bread for Savannah when she's sad. I miss folding laundry while watching mindless reality TV with Grayson. I miss being the mom, the glue. Still, Julie had refused to let her heart become bitter. And when news of the final sentencing confirmation came through, she didn't cry, not right away. She took a walk around the yard in the rain. No umbrella, no hood, just her and the storm. That was my baptism, she later joked to a fellow inmate. It didn't free me, but it reminded me that I'm still alive. Behind bars, Julie had grown used to a life of paradoxes. She was still a mother, but couldn't hug her kids. She was still a wife, but hadn't seen Todd in months. She was still a woman of faith, but questioned God more than ever. And now, as the doors to early freedom slammed shut once again, she had to choose despair or determination. In her new statement, delivered through her legal team but written in her own hand, Julie's words were measured but piercing. I've accepted that the world sees me through a single lens, the woman who committed fraud. But that's not all I am. I am a mother. I am a woman of faith. I am someone who has failed, yes, but also someone who gets back up. This sentence may have been upheld, but I will not let it define my worth. The Chrisley family naturally responded with heartbreak. Savannah posted a now viral video on Instagram in which she tearfully vowed to never stop fighting for Mom. Even Todd, despite limited contact, reportedly said through his lawyer, "Julie is the strongest woman I know. If anyone can survive this with grace, it's her." But grace was not passive for Julie. It was something she worked at every single day. Her prison routine had become sacred. Up at dawn for devotionals, teaching GED classes by mid-morning, assisting with physical therapy in the afternoon for aging inmates. Nights were for writing. She had filled nearly a dozen journals with thoughts, dreams, even prayers for people who had once judged her. Prison strips you down to the studs, she said. But once you're there, you start figuring out which parts of you were real and which were for show. I've done enough showing. Now I'm just living. Julie's cellmate, Carmen, a grandmother herself, described Julie as a woman made of lavender and steel. She doesn't get in fights, Carmen said, but she'll speak her mind when she sees something wrong. And honey, she prays for everyone, even the ones who mock her. Though not legally allowed to grant interviews from prison, Julie's message continues to resonate through family channels. Her next project, Savannah revealed, is a prison memoir titled Grace Under Lockdown. Half autobiography, half testimony. It's not about proving innocence, Savannah clarified. It's about reclaiming her story. Julie knows the public opinion remains divided. She has her critics, those who say she hasn't paid enough, those who mock her faith, and those who still call her privileged. But she's also gathered a surprising new audience. Women across America who have faced loss, betrayal, and injustice, and who now see Julie as a mirror. As for her health, which had been a concern after reports of a breast cancer scare surfaced last year, Julie remains optimistic. My body's weaker, sure, she admitted. But my spirit, stronger than it's ever been. Her prison counselor, Ms. Dean, called her a lighthouse in this place. And perhaps that's the most surprising part. Julie Chrisley, a woman once filmed in pearls and designer heels, now walks through steel gates with a purpose that goes beyond television. She may not get out early, but she's determined to make her time mean something. Before returning to her unit after the resentencing news, Julie took a moment alone in the chapel. No fanfare, no cameras, just her and a single candle flickering beneath a worn cross. She whispered, "God, if you're still with me, show me how to make these years matter."